It's a story of heroism and bravery. A pitched battle for the soul of freedom. World War II, the most transformative event in the 20th century.
The term arsenal of democracy describes how Detroit leapt to help the U.S. Armed Forces, and Ford played a huge role.
They did a lot of stuff for wartime efforts. They've been sort of a very integrated part of the American experience and the American history.
While fighting on the front lines garners the attention, back home, the great conflict is also a war of mass production.
The arsenal of democracy, Ford Motor Company was a very prominent part of that.
After the bombing of Pearl Harbor, Henry Ford's son Edsel retools the company's plants to produce wartime material. Only his father sternly objects.
When World War II started, Edsel was the driving force behind making the powers of the Ford Motor Company available to the U.S. government.
The assembly line is the key to the American miracle of the mass production of automobiles. Here we see it applied to aircraft manufacture for national defense.
Henry Ford I was not too keen on it initially. He was a pacifist. He had sponsored the peace ship during World War I, but Edsel said, no, we have to do this.
It was Edsel in the day who kind of shunned his father's pacifist leanings and said, you know, we've got to spool up here. We've got to make more of what we're going to need to win this war because democracy is at stake.
Henry Ford is a pacifist and believes in isolationism. Edsel strongly disagrees. The resulting father-son struggle highlights the difference between turn-of-the-century thinking and an early 20th century mindset.
Henry was not keen on joining in the war effort. He was a pacifist, and Franklin Roosevelt personally appealed to Edsel, saying, please talk to your father. We need Ford Motor Company's help.
In the end, Edsel's sheer will and determination sees Ford answer the Allied war effort in its greatest hour of need. Nearly overnight, the Ford Motor Company transforms into a military manufacturer.
When you think of World War II and how the automotive industry almost seemed tailor-made to produce the kind of aircraft and the kind of tanks and the kinds of battleships that were needed for the war effort.
And there was no other industry that had that innate ability and structure to just jump in and start producing military hardware as opposed to civilian hardware.
With the Allies in desperate need of air cover, Ford builds the Willow Run factory to produce aeroplanes. It's the largest manufacturing facility of its era.
In 2 years' time, a vacant field near Ypsilanti, Michigan was turned into a huge bomber plant.
The massive complex is constructed to mass-produce B-24 Liberators, using assembly line methods similar to auto production. Astonishingly, Ford produces 8,000 B-24s at a rate of 1 per hour, making it the first mass-produced airplane in the world.
An airplane with over 1 million components, all put together seamlessly and flown away, one every hour. It was amazing.
Working on the line at Willow Run is a young lady named Rose Will Monroe. In 1944, she's chosen to appear in a war bond promotion and serves as the basis for the fictional Rosie the Riveter character depicted in the iconic We Can Do It posters.
Rosie was, in fact, a Ford employee working at the Willow Run plant.
Ford also begins production on military general-purpose vehicles, machines that eventually earn the nickname Jeep.
Edsel Ford is an unsung hero in the industry, actually. He was always under his father's shadow. Henry was very domineering. He invented the company. He wanted things done his way. And Edsel was more worldly. He traveled to Europe. He was an appreciator of art. He was a great photographer. More of a soft side to him, as opposed to Henry, who was strictly bolt the stuff together, let's be an engineer.
By the end of the war, Ford manufactures over 57,000 aeroplane engines, more than 12,000 amphibious vehicles, nearly 300,000 Jeeps, and close to 2,000 Sherman tanks. It's a massive undertaking and a key part in the Allied war effort.
Again, Ford has gone to battle, fighting with all the skill, all the machinery at our command to bring peace again.
There was a rift between Edsel and his father. Edsel secretly said, we'll do it, and he started plans on Willow Run before Henry was even aware. Edsel was the hero in making a lot of this happen.
When the coronavirus pandemic breaks out, Ford dusts off their World War II playbook and transforms their shuttered assembly lines once again, only this time for medical supplies.
During the pandemic, just as Ford had helped during World War II, we began to help, and we opened up the arsenal of medicine. And we built respirators, we built PAPRs, we built millions upon millions of face shields. Anything that can be done, Ford is doing.